Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Your host, Lorenzo Primerano.
Philadelphia Sports News. Live and live cameras.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Primerano Show. It has been a while. It has been a good bit. Without the Primerano Show, I haven't checked the last time I posted, but it's been a pretty long time. But there is reason, explanation behind it. Life does play a factor, believe it or not. Work, school, all the above. So finally, able to get an episode out this week. I know a few of you, maybe one or two, look forward to this. But we're here, we're ready to talk, and let's get right into it. And we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot that has happened over the weeks that I was not here. So let's get on further ado. But before we get into the podcast, it has been officially a year now since I started the Lorenzo Primerano Show on YouTube. It was February something of last year, and you're probably wondering, well, it's April, right? Yeah, I'm aware it is April. It is April 2nd. But I just realized it now. So yay, happy first year for the podcast. But without further ado, we're gonna hop into it. We're gonna talk about some Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, Flyers, and then the Union to finish off this week's podcast. Phillies, look, we're gonna jump right into it. Opening day, they played last week. I guess you can technically. They played the Texas Rangers opening up. They got killed. And yesterday they played the Rangers again and lost and got killed again. Now, I know that it is only 2 games into the season, but we lost 16-3. And I don't understand how we have both our aces. I forget who started the opener, and then I forgot who started yesterday. 2 of your aces starting the first 2 games, and you're getting killed by the Texas Rangers out of all teams. Out of all teams, you are getting killed by the Texas Rangers. Are you kidding me? Like, that is unbelievable to me. And I just can't, I don't understand. But, something that's always going through my mind is, please don't start off bad. Don't do this last year crap where we were sucky, then we were winning. It was like, what are we doing here? So, I would like to get an overall 10-game winning streak, maybe be 10-2. Love to see it. We need a winning streak here for the Phillies. Get that boost of confidence up. But yeah, they're right now not looking that good. Bryce Harper might need to come in and save the day as soon as July comes around. But we'll still have a far away until Harper comes back. So in the meantime, the Phillies better step up their game and start playing. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, really, you need to step up. And it's not just the fact that, you went to the World Series and you need to get back there. It's like, you got a good team. And if you can't make the postseason with this team, then damn. But again, it's the first 2 games of the season. New pitch clock is out. They got to get used to the rules, get used to everything. I feel like the Phillies are going to get in their rhythm. But you hope they get into it soon, because we do not want to fall into an 0-5, 0-6 slump. That's just something we're not going to be able to afford there. So, enough with the Phillies, because we got to make them roll in a little bit. We're going to get to the Sixers, and there's a lot here to take in. First off, I want to talk about the postseason. Postseason is less than 2 weeks away already, and I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is nuts. We are less than 2 weeks away from the NBA postseason, and it's like, wow, this team is iffy though. If you're looking at the Sixers, you've been seeing how they've been playing all year. You can see that, they're the team that's like, you win a big game, but then you lose a game just because. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, you're losing against stupid and idiotic teams, and then you're going on to win these big games. It's like you're such an inconsistent team. It's like you don't know where you fall in the category of being good, being a contender for the NBA championship. Nothing at all. But if you remember, this wasn't last week. This was whenever the last podcast was. I told you, I don't want the Sixers to go to the NBA championship. And people think I am nuts. I mean, nuts for saying that. But there's no way I would be able to take another loss in the championship. Because if we need to be realistic here. We need to be very realistic. If the Sixers go to the NBA championship, depending on who they face, they will probably not win it. That is just the luck of Philly sports right now. If they go to the championship, depending who they face, they are most likely not going to win the game. Look, and I am saying this completely realistically. You need to be realistic when it comes to these things. Of course, yeah. I'm going to say F the team who they're playing. The Sixers, fine. But there needs to be like a refresh in Philly sports. You can't have this, but to go to the NBA championship, of course, I'm going to be rooting for him and everything. So, now that that's out of the way, the MVP race, something that's been pissing me off for years now. 3 years, Embiid falls once again after being at the top. And this is, again, the final weeks in the season. And I really don't understand how Embiid is not the MVP. He is, he climbs down the ladder. I just don't understand. And Jokic, I don't understand at all. And I've already expressed my opinions on this MVP thing, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous that Jokic is going to win 3-time MVP, and it is unreal to me. It really is. And, he doesn't do nothing with his team, and I know that this is not a postseason award, but he never steps up in the big games. He's never the guy to go to for a big game. And that's not what MVP is. An MVP is someone who can step up, someone who can clutch up. And that's Joel Embiid. And if people can't agree on that, then so be it. But he is the MVP. He's been the MVP 2 years in a row. But of course, he's going to get robbed again for the third time, coming second to last. So there goes that and everything along with that. So now we got Phillies and Sixers out of the way. It's time to go to the Eagles. It's been a roller coaster of an offseason. I said this the last podcast. It's been everywhere. But things I haven't mentioned from last podcast. Fletcher Cox is back. Slay is here to stay. And we signed Mariota for some reason. C.J. Gardner is gone from the Eagles. Sad to see him go, but not really. It's like he went and he's like, all right, see ya. I'm going to sign it with this team. Boom, done. Sign with Detroit Lions. Yeah. So that's how the Eagles are going. And I really just anything at this point to make Philly sports a little bit of a hype, maybe. But no, Eagles losing people. Phillies are starting off not good. And then here we go with the Sixers trying to go deep in the playoffs. If they don't, Doc Rivers is getting fired. So there's that. Flyers, there's another team who stinks. They're not doing good whatsoever, and it is. But here's the thing. So we're trying to get a good enough draft pick as we can. Correct. This is what we want at this point. We're not looking for the playoffs. I don't know who watched the game, and I don't know why you would watch it, but I wound up watching it because of how passionate I am for these Philadelphia Flyers. Oh my God, I am drawing a blank. They face the Ottawa Senators. Giroux, on the other team, of course, rooting for my favorite Flyer of all time. The Flyers had 11 shots total. And they were down 4-1 at one point. Came back, tied it, and got a point out of it. It's like they don't. It's like they don't want to draft pick. They just don't care. Like to have 11 shots. That's like almost 50. That's like a 34% shooting percentage. That's ridiculous. That is like ridiculous. You don't have that in the NHL. 11 shots on net is crazy. It is crazy to me. But yeah, Flyers aren't gonna get Connor Bernard, and yeah, well there's that. So yeah, the Union. Man, these Philly teams are starting to go down a slump. Besides for the Sixers, the Philadelphia Union started off the season not too well. 2-3-1. It's that MLS Cup, losing that. It's still got them in the back, but again, still early. They can still turn their season around. But yeah, I mean, this podcast, I knew from the beginning was just going to be not so good news. And really just try to get this one out. I've been having to do a lot today, actually. Started to do some schoolwork as well. So we need to get on top of that. But need to get a podcast out quickly. This is probably running for, about 15-ish minutes now. But yeah, Sixers making the playoffs. They clinched. We'll be talking about that all next week. Of course, we'll be getting closer and closer, seeing probably who they might be facing. But this has been the Lorenzo Pomerano Show. Make sure to go follow my Instagram. That is Lorenzo_Pomerano_show. I post all there for all Philly sports updates, including Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Union, and Sixers. So, this has been the Lorenzo Pomerano Show, and we will see you all, hopefully, next week.